Welcome to Darren Daily On-Demand, your most trusted resource to help you become better every day. In today's episode, Darren is pulling back the curtain to reveal 3 game-changing insider secrets that have helped the world's top achievers produce extraordinary results while working less. If you're feeling overwhelmed, overworked, and still underproducing, this episode will be a complete paradigm shift just for you. Let's dive in.
Hello everyone, this is Britt, Community Growth Leader here on the Darren Hardy A-Team, and I want to welcome you to this exclusive global broadcast event with Darren Hardy. We are just about to get started here, and we have people joining from all over the world. So I want to do a quick check-in and welcome everyone that is joining us today. And it already looks like we have tens of thousands of people joining in from all over the world. Let's see where from. Looks like we have people from more than, 1, 2, 3, at least a few dozen countries. I want to welcome Madrid, Spain, and welcome Manchester, England, which of course it's a lot later there now. Let's see, welcome Brazil, welcome India and Mumbai. Wow, there are definitely some people up late, or is that early? I don't know. Welcome Singapore, where it's tomorrow already, I believe. Incredible. Also, welcome Mexico City, all the way in Tokyo, Japan. And of course, people all over the United States are joining us today. Welcome, everybody. Lots of people in Texas, I see. Arlington, Austin, and Dallas, of course. Oh, looks like a big cluster here in Southern California just joined in, which is where I am, in Long Beach, Los Angeles. Oh, and San Diego just came on as well, which we love to see. Go Padres. Wow, this is so exciting, and still there are more and more people logging on. But before we officially kick it off, I definitely want to give you a few key pointers. So first off, make sure you have your pen and paper ready. If you haven't yet downloaded the Insider Secrets Guidebook, click the link here on this window and you can download that right away. Darren created the guidebook to allow you to follow along during the broadcast and to give you a simple action plan to take with you when you go. So be sure you access that. Let me check in here. We still have more and more people joining on. I can't believe it. This is incredible. Welcome everyone to this exclusive global broadcast event if you're just now joining us. And this last tip I have for you is probably the most important tip. I want you to pretend like you're in a private one-on-one meeting with Darren and, well, the 20,000 plus other achievers that are joining us. So do just as I did, shut down your email, turn your phone off, put it away if you have to, close the doors and block out the outside world so you can really be fully present with us here. I really want you to grasp everything that Darren is going to leave you with today. So to do Darren's introduction full justice, I want to play a quick video for you, one that organizations will play right before Darren walks out on stage. So let me roll that for you now.
Mentor to top CEOs and high-performance entrepreneurs. New York Times best-selling author. Highly sought-after keynote speaker. Darren Hardy is today's preeminent success mentor.
If they deem you leader, that's a privilege. The impact that you can make, the difference that you can create is incredible.
Darren Hardy has been a central business leader in the personal growth and success industry now for more than 20 years. He's led 3 success television networks, producing over 1,000 TV shows, featuring most every influential thought leader of our times. And for 8 years, Darren led the rebirth of Success magazine as its publisher. These positions have given Darren unprecedented access to interview, investigate, and publish the stories of the most successful entrepreneurs and business leaders in the world, including Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Howard Schultz, Steve Wynn, Jack Welch, and many more. Through this special access, Darren has been able to uncover the strategies and methods that have powered the most successful people in the world. Mixing in lessons and discoveries from his successful entrepreneurial journey, he now distills these coveted insights to mentor and empower millions of achievers globally. Darren's mission is to positively influence influencers and to be a guide for those who choose to be the exception.
Okay, I hope you are just as excited as I am for this. And without further ado, I'm going to pass this on over to our success mentor, Darren Hardy.
Thank you, Britt. Great job. Isn't she amazing? So I am delighted to welcome all of you. I aim to make this very much worth your time. Today or tonight or this morning, depending on where you're logging in from, I'm going to take you behind the curtains, behind the closed doors of the corner offices and conference rooms, and even the private islands and palatial estates where I have met, interviewed, spent time with, and or investigated to discover the truth about how the super successful, the modern day captains of industry and the prime movers and shakers of our world, how they really did it. Just how they became so super successful. Because understand this, these are people from backgrounds just like yours or worse, people who are no smarter, who no more clever, no more witty, or maybe not even as good looking as you, how these once average, normal, even flawed folks, how they rose from obscurity, starting at zero, just like the rest of us, to catapult themselves all the way to the top of the societal totem pole and onto the covers of our magazines using the same 24/7, 365 matrix of time and space that we all have. How were they able to achieve 10 times, 50 times, 100 times, even 1,000 times more than all their other family members, peers, and even competitors? Today, I'm going to tell you. Today, you will learn the most coveted and highly guarded insider secrets to their extraordinary success. In secret number 1, I will reveal the real secrets to their boundless energy and their ability to keep their focus, even under the most extreme of chaos. No matter what you do, you run a company, you run a team or a church group, or run a household, this will be a life and sanity-saving insight for you. In secret number 2, I will show you how they keep themselves and their teams on track. This is a big part of how they get so much accomplished with predictable excellence, but with little stress, effort, or energy cost. You will definitely want the systems that they use for this. And then in secret number 3, and this is the big one, this is really the grand secret to how they shot themselves way above everybody else in their family, all those that they graduated with, their competitors, and everyone else around them. This is really their multiplier factor. And no matter what you do, if you work for yourself or you work for somebody else, you have small goals or you have big, hairy, and audacious goals, utilizing secret number 3 will significantly multiply your own results and accelerate your progress in a way that will shock and amaze your peers, friends, and family. It will be your choice whether you let them in on this big secret or not. That's up to you. Here's what we're after. What happened for Danny Hardy after I showed him what you're about to see. Now, Danny was already a successful high achiever, but he confessed this to me. He said, quote, "I was working on average about 85 hours a week. It was extremely fun. I don't regret it, but I was making a lot of sacrifices by being really hyper-focused in only one area of life. I became afraid that I was going to look back years later after having made excuses. Yeah, the kids are too little. They're never going to remember. So it's okay if I work from 6:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night. I knew that wasn't true, and I knew that I needed to make some changes. These systems Darren taught me allowed me to accomplish all of the same outcome without spending that much time. Now I can be there for my family, and my family is grateful, and I am grateful." Now understand, I can only pull off a few of the coins from the treasury that I've collected during our very short time here today. But I promise, before we are done, I will show you how to get the keys to the vault, where all the treasure is stored, where the complete collection of 25 years of the best, proven to work, tools, insights, and strategies collected from the best in the world, where all that resides, and how to make those tools work for you. That will be your gift at the end for all of those that go the distance with me here today. A big reward at the end of our yellow brick road today. Okay, here's secret number 1. You ready? You have your notepad, your journal, or the download that we sent you ready to go? Let's begin. Secret number 1. The super successful have ADD. Not attention deficit disorder, although candidly many do, which is probably why they developed this other ADD, and that is an active distraction defense system. You remember the Star Wars program of the 1980s, Ronald Reagan's trump card during the Cold War with the Russians? The Star Wars program was essentially designed to blanket the United States to create sort of a protective bubble of sorts so that any missile that was launched at us would be shot out of the sky before it ever reached our shores. This is the kind of system that superachievers build around themselves to protect them from any missiles of distraction, far before they even reach the shores of their attention. You need that system too, particularly now. Here's why. We are living in an era of epic distraction and temptation. We are bombarded ceaselessly pulls on our attention swarm us all day, every day. And what's ironic is these tools that we invented to make life easier and more convenient and us more productive and efficient have done just the opposite. What they have done is opened up Pandora's box. These devices open up windows, literally windows, all these windows giving direct and immediate and constant access to our attention. Now anyone with a random idea, musing, or a brain fart can email, text, tweet, direct message, or RSS feed it to you. And just as surely as having a leash tied to your neck, they can give it a sharp yank at any time. And they do endlessly all day, every day. What we thought would make life easier and more relaxed. We thought we were saving time. Instead, all we did is we revved up the treadmill of life 10 times its former speed. Now there are more requests, demands, and solicitations on your time and attention, making our days more anxious and agitated. It's no wonder we are overwhelmed and overexerted. And at the same time, we're underproducing. We're unsatisfied, we're unfulfilled, we're unhappy, we're frustrated, anxious, and discouraged. And distractions today, they're thermonuclear in their addictiveness. It is not just the communication systems and platforms themselves. It's the reach now media and commercial marketing has to your attention. And there is a high price bounty on your head, your eyes, and your attention. It is important to know what you are up against here. Inside these news and entertainment media companies, inside the offices of Silicon Valley, are ridiculously smart, experienced, and seductive distraction dealers. They have become masters at packaging stimuli in ways that our brains find simply irresistible and highly addictive. Just look around you in a Starbucks or walking down on the streets or in a restaurant or at church, for goodness sakes, in your offices, in your conference rooms, everywhere people are being screen sucked by these addictive devices. The situation is more urgent than most people realize. And what worries me is people, even those with a sincere desire to succeed, provide a good life for their family, will have no chance. They will be sidelined in these radically changing times. We've already started to see and feel those effects. We are working longer, we're working harder, and we're more stressed out and overwhelmed than we've ever been in human history, still not producing our goals or aspirations as we would desire. And it's not your fault entirely. You're human. And what most people don't understand about humans is when presented with temptation and distraction, human willpower and discipline will fail 100% of the time over time. And understand this, every human, not just you, every human, whether they are already successful or not, when presented with tantalizing, novel, and engaging distraction, we all have a hard time staying focused. And every human, whether they are already successful or not, has a hard time saying no. You are not unique in this scenario. Everyone falls prey to the constant shock and awe of temptation bombardment eventually. Now, what the super successful have done is they created an ADD, an active distraction defense system, a protective bubble of sorts so that any distraction missile that is launched at them is shot out of the sky before it ever reaches the shores of their attention. The before part of what I just said there was most important. Make sure that you got that point. Stop reading about how to handle distractions. It's too late by then, and it will be futile. We all have monkey brains, and the active, novel, new, shiny object will win out eventually, every time, over time. Prevention is the cure. Write that down in your notes. Here it is again. Prevention is the cure. Put bluntly, the only way to resist the sirens of distractions is to not have to resist at all. That is the secret distinction here. I hope that you're catching on to this. It has never been more urgent or important to do so than it is right now. To provide your family with a life that you want to give them, you have to be the one in control of your attention. You have to take back control of your attention, your focus, your creative capacity and potential, to take back control of your life. This requires having the advantage of certain tools and setting up specific systems to put you back in the captain's chair of your attention, mind, focus, and potential. No matter who you are or what you do, these systems will change the game for you. That is your first takeaway, action item here. Set up your own active distraction defense system. You wanted to know how the super successful keep their boundless energy, their steadfast discipline and laser-like focus, even in today's tumultuous culture and work environment. This is how. They don't let the world yank them around by the neck. They don't even need discipline, willpower, or self-control. With these systems in place, they are free to fly. They don't even have the drag of resistance. I am telling you this. If you really want to thrive in today's radically changing and advancing world, you need an ADD system of your own put in place. The cost not to is too great. Not just the loss of potential of productivity and of results of health, relationships, and sanity. Once your ADD system is in place, you will gain impenetrable peace of mind, confident clarity, and laser-like focus. Like this. This is Lindsay Shearer. She is a solopreneur in business for herself by herself. And this is what she said, quote, "For years, I felt like I was constantly searching for answers and guidance. I ended up crazy sick, unmotivated, and without a true passion for life. Since using the system Darren taught me, I have tripled my business income. My confidence has skyrocketed, and I've minimized my distraction time significantly. The productivity really is insane," end quote. That's what we're talking about here. When you learn to deploy your ADD system, it can make a big impact in your personal life as well, as it did for Flor Mazeda. She said, quote, "Before using this system, all these distractions prevented me from enjoying special moments with my family. I lost memories that I could have made. I was a slave to email, social media updates, a hunger for the likes and comments on my status. I was an addict. My life was out of control. Now I have more peace of mind. My productivity multiplied, working fewer hours. Now I relax without guilt. I am now able to be truly present in the moment with my family. This has changed my life and the lives of my entire family." As I promised, the details of where to find this system and the simple and easy way to apply the instructions on how to set one up for yourself, I'll tell you about before we end here. But once implemented, life will dramatically improve. Almost overnight, you won't believe how relieved, revitalized you will feel about life and your work again. Okay, you feeling better already? All right, let's break into secret number 2. Instead of working hard, grinding, and hustling, as so many people like to rant and beat their chest about these days, the super successful don't do any of that. In fact, they purposely set up their operating methods to avoid all of that. They use guidance and operational systems that make work fast, easy, and a whole heck of a lot less grinding and hard. With them, they are able to produce a mass volume of results, all performed with predictable excellence. How is that possible? How can they produce mass results fast and easy? Are they superhuman? Do they tear off their shirt, become faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound? Nah, not at all. They are just as weak, fragile, vulnerable as the rest of us humans. The only difference is that they use a jig. And it's the jig that brings the superpower magic. What's a jig, you ask? No, I'm not talking about the dance. I'm talking about the mechanisms in constructions used to reduce effort, minimize mistakes, expedite production, and significantly improve results. Doesn't that sound good? A way to reduce your effort, time, and energy output, and minimize mistakes, expedite production, and significantly improve results. That'd be nice, right? Well, then listen up. Let me explain the power of a jig. So when a carpenter wants to cut, let's say, a half a dozen boards to the same length, he doesn't measure each one, mark it, and then try to guide his saw along the line, cutting one board at a time. That would be disastrous. That would take way longer, require way more effort, and most likely all the boards would come out cut very differently. It would be a cluster of sorts, just like the way we go about working all day. Instead, the smart carpenter, the smart super achiever, makes a jig. A jig is a device that guides a repeated action by constraining the environment in such a way as to make the action go smoothly, the same each time without having to think about it or exert much effort at all. For instance, meet A-Team ambassador Sarah Fowler. She has the task of cutting a dozen 2x4s the exact same height to make the wall of a treehouse for her kiddos. Meet the eager and excited kiddos. If Sarah was to try and cut each board one at a time, it would take forever, be taxing, and probably end up wonky, letting in the never-ending draft, bugs, or tree snakes. The kiddos don't want that at all. So Sarah gets smart, and she sets up a jig, which will make the task fast, easy, requiring very little effort, and predictable excellence. Here's what Sarah does. First, she lays the boards out side by side on a couple of sawhorses. Then she butts the boards up against the side of a house wall, aligning it and constraining one end of the boards. Then Sarah will measure the desired length of the first board and the last board, and then maybe snap a chalk line across those two marks. But Sarah won't just start cutting now. That would still probably create a zigzag result. What Sarah does now is she tacks a straight piece of plywood along the chalk line, traversing the whole array of boards. This will serve as a guide for her saw. Then all Sarah has to do is slide her saw along the plywood edge, taking very little mental resources or very little precision. And whammo bammo, she has 6 boards cut to perfect equal length. And you can see her family is pretty impressed and pumped up. So what the jig does is reduce the degrees of freedom, constant new choices and decisions that we're faced with all throughout the day that are inflicted in your environment. It stabilizes and secures a process. And in doing so, it lightens the burden of care on both memory and fine muscular control. It keeps action on track and requires less energy mentally and physically. This is how the superachievers produce mass results using less mental and physical resources, faster and with predictable excellence. And so can you. You just need to jigger your environment, your daily processes, your methods of operation. With the right jig system, you can execute with excellence, using far less energy and effort, and yet dramatically improve your desired results. Excellent execution, improved results, and less effort are what you want, right? You've probably heard the story of my chance encounter with a 94-year-old multi-billionaire. This guy started out in abject poverty, was one of the young men who stormed Normandy during World War II, got a Purple Heart for it, in fact. And when I met him, he was still overseeing 200 thriving portfolio companies managed mostly from his super yacht, where he spends most of his time, and also where I met him. When I asked him how he did it all, that is when he shared with me his sacred planning document. Essentially, it was his jig. It is how he set up a guiding system to focus himself each week. Once this jig was in place, which only takes about 15 minutes on Sunday, then he's able to execute mass results with clear, confident, peace of mind focus. I promise you, he works a lot less, using a lot less mental and emotional energy, running and overseeing and being responsible for 200 companies and tens of thousands of employees than you do running one business or running one life. How? Is he superhuman? No, he just has a jig. I hope that you're catching on here. When I applied his jig to my own life, I couldn't believe the results. And I'm not kidding. The very next year, all my important metrics doubled. My impact, my influence, my income doubled. And at the same time, I took more vacation that year than I'd had my entire life combined up to that point. And it didn't stop there. The following year, using that same jig, this sacred planning process, only spending 15 minutes on Sunday with it. And the next year, I doubled what I had doubled the year before. Again, every metric. Over the course of only 4 years since the time using this, all those valuable metrics, impact, influence, and bottom line, as well as vacation, time off, and real actual free time, 5x'd. 5x! Then the following year, this is last year now, we doubled that again. It's nuts. Yeah, now we're talking 10x. And I am not telling you this to impress you, only to impress upon you the power of a jig, or a system to plan and guide your execution, requiring less effort, energy, and a higher level of cognitive functions all along the way. So does that sound like something you'd like to have? Key systems like this that have not only helped me, but they've helped many others that I have taught it to, like Michael Pollock here, who has a property management company. And this is what he said, quote, "I've read so many books on how to improve my self-discipline, but yet have not been able to change my behavior. It was hard to read all those books and then not be able to follow through and perform. I felt like something was wrong with me. This concept that you shared was like freedom. I don't have to fight my self-discipline any longer. I just need to use these mechanisms to eliminate choice and emotion in the first place. This is brilliant, a life-changing game changer for me." John Luxford, who has been in real estate in Windsor, Ontario, Canada for 20 years, so yes, this even works in Canada, John reported this, quote, When you helped me apply these simple systems, what you taught me caused massive shifts in momentum for me. I generated $80,000 in new income the last 12 weeks, and I've lost 32 pounds in the same 12-week period. You see, these guiding systems will not only be a game changer in your business life, but it will impact your personal life as well, like it did for Francis Schmeling, who said, quote, "Absolutely transformational. This has not only helped me make more money, but helped me become a better husband, father, and business leader," end quote. And that, I think, is the ultimate goal. We're not just here to be a better achiever. We're here to be better in areas that really matter. At home with our family, a better role model for your children, and an inspiration out in your community. Now, you're probably thinking, wow, this sounds hard or difficult or complicated. Nope. That's the beauty. Like any job, it's all very simple if you have the right tools. Think about building a house. Imagine if you didn't have the right tools. How hard would that be? That's how most people are trying to build their life and operate their day, by brute force instead of using the right tool to make every job easier, faster, and stress less. That's your second takeaway action item here. Install the right guidance and operational systems to make performance fast, easy, and predictably excellent, spending a lot less time and energy to produce those great results. Wondering how? Do not worry. The entire toolkit that you'll need to install the right jig systems in your life, I have all ready for you. The very same ones the best in the world use to produce their extraordinary results. All you have to do is follow the very simple installation instructions step by step, and everything will get easier, faster, and more productive. Okay. Well, if that wasn't enough, are you ready for secret number 3? You sure? Because as I said, this is the big one. Now, what you've already learned would dramatically improve your success and drastically reduce your stress. But now we're going to shift into hyper growth. I hope that you're ready. Secret number 3 is the super successful use leverage to multiply their results. Look, what you've been taught about time management and productivity is wrong. It might have worked 10 years ago, but now it's hurting and actually hindering you significantly. Time management gurus have tried to teach you how to get it all done, that you're supposed to get it all done. That's wrong. And attempting to do so is a huge mistake, and it's killing you. Not just your productivity, you, as in stress, anxiety, and frustration. Stop that. That model died back in the 20th century. Time management gurus try to tell you to use a 2-minute rule with every piece of mail, correspondence, or email. Come on, 2 minutes on a sinkhole of demands are infinite. They'll tell you to aim for inbox 0, which will only shackle you more firmly to your inboxes, requiring you to check more frequently and distract you more often. Terrible idea. They'll try to teach you to get better organized, more efficient, and to speed up by using the latest fad app, Tech Trick, or Evernote integration, which will only shackle you more firmly to the Iron Maiden of keeping up and updating a slew of needless tasks. One of the biggest problems with a lot of time management or productivity advice is that they focus on how to do things quickly. But the vast majority of things that people do quickly should not be done at all. If your car is headed into a brick wall, speeding up isn't going to help. And the allure of the time management doctrine is that one day, everything might finally be under control. But that's bullpucky. No, it won't. That's not how it works in the 21st century. It might have worked back in the 20th century, but not now. In the 20th century, I'll give you some examples. In the 20th century, we treated chronic headaches and depression by jamming a 10-inch ice pick through your eye socket and into your brain using a hammer. It was called a lobotomy. But we know better now. The modern economy is noted for its limitless solicitations on your attention, and they're never ending. That approach is like running in quicksand. The faster you move, the harder you try, the further you sink. Forget all that. Here's what you need to know. The super successful play a very different game. The Elon Musks, the Jeff Bezos, the Richard Bransons, the great artists, the top scientists, the elite performers, the top people in your industry, the ones who ultimately rise to the top, particularly in the new economy, all run their days under completely different rules and approaches than those who get trapped in the groove of being busy. If you're taking notes, this one is good for your notepad. You ready? Highly successful people don't get it all done. Highly successful people just get the most important things done. They only give time to those few things that offer them the greatest leverage on effort in bottom line results. And they actively block out the rest, as you should. You know that, right? The problem is You love being busy. Oh man, you thrive on the frenetic energy of being busy. Being in demand makes you feel important, needed, validated, and productive, as well as distracted from doing the hard, real work that produce results. You need to reframe this in your head. Again, for your notepad, write this down. Busy equals laziness. Busy means that you lack priorities, clarity, and focus on what matters. Next, busy equals weakness. It's an excuse to avoid what is hard and uncomfortable to do. Next, busy equals fear. You throw yourself into seemingly urgent, loud, and inane tasks to hide. And busy equals out of control. You don't lack time. You lack skills and the ability to find the right priorities and stick to them. But it's not your fault. You were taught the wrong curve to judge important activities. This is a big tip here, so be ready. We all grew up with the bell curve, right? Which looks like this. The difference between average and success was 23%. But that is not how it works in the real world in the modern era. Success in the modern era works off of the leverage curve, which looks like this. The difference between average and success on the leverage curve looks like this. Not 23% difference, but 50 to 100 times different. Spending an hour responding to comments on your blog or Facebook posts or checking email versus spending that same hour face-to-face with a prospect to a new multi-million-dollar account won't yield a 23% difference in results. The result difference will be 50 to 100 times different. Same hour, much different results. The difference is leverage, which activity you allocate your time, energies, and precious resources to. Have you ever wondered how some people from similar backgrounds end up making 50 or 100 times more money than you? How? How is that possible? 50 to 100 times more? Ask yourself, how does this kid from the inner city Bronx, who grew up in government subsidized housing, how did he end up earning $9,659 per hour, as Howard Schultz of Starbucks did? How does that compare to your hourly rate? His is more than $9,000 an hour. What's yours? Look, he's no different than you. He just leveraged his time, energy, and focus differently than you. Or how does a high school dropout with ADD and dyslexia go on to earn $3,359 an hour while spending most of his time kite surfing with a naked model on his back, as Richard Branson does? Richard's background has nothing on you and yours. Are they 50 to 100 times more valuable than you? The answer is no. They have just allocated their time, energy, and focus to activities that give them 50 to 100 times greater return on investment. Is it really that simple, you ask? Yes. Not easy. That's why you need systems to get you to do and continue to do the hard stuff. But it really is that simple, and you can do it too. Do you need to know exactly what activities in your day today that might fit on the right side of your leverage curve, the ones that give you the most leverage? I can help you identify that. It's in the details at the end. Just know that. What I'm showing you right here is how those around you, people not as smart as you, not as talented as you, probably not as good looking as you, how they end up earning 50, 100, or 250 times more than you. They use leverage. They found the small hinges that swing the big doors of results, and they mastered them. That is your third takeaway action item. Find your most vital functions that provide you 50 to 100 times leverage. You have them, I promise you, no matter what it is that you do, and I can show you where, and then stick to them. You're probably thinking, I have to make all these changes. I'm already stressed, overwhelmed with everything that's going on. I can't do anymore. That is what this is about. The solution to that very problem. Pai Kang Bogus figured that out. She felt just as you might be feeling now when she said, quote, I wasn't sure about this. I didn't want another intensive system to intensify my already intense life. But this system actually brought me more freedom. Freedom. Freedom is what we all want, right? That is what I was after for sure. The good news is, the system that I will show you is not going to give you a bunch of new things to do, just like most books, apps, or instructional programs would have you do. Nope, that is the last thing that you need in life right now. Instead, it's going to help you have far less to do. It's going to help you eliminate the noise so that you can finally focus with mastery on what you were meant to do, contribute as you were meant to, make the impact that you are meant to, and live the life that you were meant to. And this system is built for the modern era. It's not about time management or personal productivity. It's about self-management. It's about self-mastery, no matter what you choose to pursue. Once you have mastery over the self, no matter how the world advances or changes around you, you will always have control over it because you'll have control over yourself. This is how you break through and obtain lifestyle freedom, that freedom that you seek if you desire to be great, that is, in today's world. Let me sum up how these 3 secrets work together with their systems implemented to give you the same apparent superpowers that the super successful have. Here's what life is like now. You start your day, hopefully with Darren Daily. You have your list of goals and objectives. You declare that today you're going to stay focused. Today you're going to be productive. Then you walk into the office or you open up your email and wham! You get hit with 1,000 solicitations, communications, alarm bells, fire drills, and got a minute? Knocks or texts. Take a look at your screen right now. That is what your day looks like. Now try and just focus on one box. Go ahead, pick a box, any box on the screen, and just stare at it. Keep your focus only on that one box. Don't let the other boxes pull your eyes away. Keep focused now. Hold it. Hold it now. Okay, release. Now, I just want you to observe a few things. 1, how hard it was to stay focused on that one box for a matter of 10 seconds. 2, the longer you tried, the harder it became. And 3, if you continue to stare at it all day, you'd eventually end up blurry-eyed, stressed, and tension-filled. That is your day. It is impossible to stay focused. And if you try, it ends up in stress and distress. Now, here's what these 3 insider secrets do. Now take a look at your screen. 1, it takes all the distractions vying for your attention and wipes them away. 2, now there are a few things on that grid of tasks that are important, those few vital tasks and functions, those small hinges that swing the big doors of results. And 3, when you execute and master those few things with the right tools and systems, you can produce a mass of results faster, easier, with less effort and less time, significantly multiplying your productive output in the same or less 24/7, 365 of all your peers and competitors. With these 3 insider secrets applied to your life, you will become unbeatable, unstoppable. No one will have a chance against you. You'll rise to the top of your team, of your company, of your industry, of your community. You'll be the one everyone wants to know. How in the heck are you doing all this? They will ask. But you and I will know you got the insider secrets of the superachievers and their highly coveted systems that make insane productivity possible. Now, for the details that I promised you, where you can gain access to the superachievers' insane productivity systems and their ADD system, their daily operational jig systems, and their systems of leverage and mastery on their success vitals. You ready for the details? Okay, in good old Jim Rohn fashion, if you're ready, say, I'm ready. Okay, let me take you inside the system now. By the way, the system I'm going to show you is not for sale publicly. You can go to insaneproductivity.com right now and you cannot buy access into this program. It is only ever open by referral and invitation only. It is a private community of global high achievers. It is only by your being with me right now that you gain access to an invitation. And that invitation is coming from me personally for you to join us. If you're interested, you might not be. Just know that if you leave our meeting here, the invite is gone. Just so we're clear, I don't want anybody's feelings hurt. Okay. Now, once you enter the Darren Hardy Training Vault and activate your Insane Productivity membership, you will gain access to 25 years of unprecedented access to the world's greatest achievers, compressing everything that I've learned, tried, tested, and then proven to work, packed into this complete training system. There are 12 high-octane modules delivered over 12 weeks or 90 days. And then once they're deposited into your vault, they are yours to access for life. You have 24/7, 365 lifetime access to them. Each module is about, say, 45 to 90 minutes each, something that you can do in one appointment a week, one, let's say, Starbucks getaway a week, or one Saturday easy chair morning a week over 12 weeks or 90 days. And then module by module, we will be moving you from the overworked, overscheduled, overstressed, overwhelmed overachiever to the insanely super achiever that you were meant to be, that your teammates need you to be, that your clients need you to be, that your family needs you to be, and your community is counting on you to be. You want to do this, not just for you, but for all those who count on you. When asking Jeff Bezos where he gets his crazy drive, he responded by saying, quote, "I've realized about myself that I am very motivated by people counting on me. There are people that are counting on you, and they are hoping that you do what it takes to grow, to get stronger, to become better, to be their inspiring example. When you become an Insane Productivity member, you will also receive the complete Insane Toolkit. Remember all those important tools that we talked about? All the tools to fully take back control of your mind and reclaim your attention? You'll get all the tools and processes that you need to set up your environment, to optimize your focus and your valuable creative capacity, to stay on track and master your vital few, to produce insanely more, insanely fast, and finally, to regain your sanity back. Have full peace of mind and confidence that you are doing your best with what you've got. Inside is everything that you need to make work, progress, and achievement fun again. It's all in there. You see, with this, you don't have to go through the 25-year epic journey that I had to take to collect, test, and assemble it all. You could just skip all that and just get the end result. You're getting the answers to the test without having to do all the homework. This is the ultimate success shortcut. Would you like a shortcut? So just like Gary Acosta, the founder of NAREP, the National Association of Hispanic Realtors, said, quote, "I no longer have to study time management or personal productivity. I don't need to read any books. I don't need to read any blogs or go to any seminars about it. All I have to do is study Darren's Insane Productivity. He's done all the reading, research, and work for me. I can cross that off my list forever." Now, I want to add in something special here for this exclusive event, okay? I think you're going to like this. This is not part of the main curriculum. This is an added gift for those who step up, okay? I'm going to add a $100,000 program to what you will get. $100,000 is what a large financial organization paid me to develop and record this special training audio titled The Habits of High Achievers. They asked me to compile all the insights that I drew from world-class athletes, superstar entrepreneurs, top business leaders, specifically on their habits. It took me 6 months to go back through 30 years of personal journal notes, audio recordings, interview transcripts, and published articles. Then I digested the very best insights and practices from an array of super performers and put it into a step-by-step plan anybody can use to radically revolutionize your habits. As the adage goes, change your habits, change your life. I want you to have this additional support and guidance as we begin our insane adventure together. The financial organization then sold the program through their client network for $1,000 or $995 to be precise. But for those of you who step up and get into this class of 500 in this Insane Productivity class, before it caps out, I'm going to give it to you as an added gift. The complete audio digest of The Habits of High Performers. Is that cool or what? I sure think so, and you will too when you experience this special audio program. It alone will be a game changer for you. If you've ever struggled to stick to a plan, to a new goal, to a resolution, to a promise of any kind, to your family, to your team, to yourself, this is what will turn that around for you. Now, having been in the human growth and performance business for so long, one of the greatest inhibitors to people being able to achieve their dreams that's in their heart are the sabotaging internal belief systems that run the operating systems of their unconscious. Even when you start to make progress, something derails you, holds you back, or keeps you from getting to that next level. You know what to do, but something is still anchoring you down. Do you know how that feels? This happens to the majority of people. People with great capability, great commitment, great intelligence. They still struggle and seemingly repeatedly sabotage their success. So while publishing Success Magazine, I figured that if I could solve the problem behind this issue, it would be transformative for our millions of readers. It was a year-long study where I accessed the greatest minds in psychology, human development, and performance training. I delivered the entire year-long report findings live on stage in front of an audience of 10,000 at a conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, that conference paid $35,000 for me to deliver that workshop for them, but you don't have to pay that. You're going to get it for free. You don't have to go to a shrink. You don't need to go to a therapist. You don't need to go to a personal coach. I'll help you skip all that. As another gift, I want to add in this training the belief system of success into your Insane Productivity membership. How do you like that? Now, why? Why would I be doing that? Because I know what you will need to break through, and I want to equip you with all that it will take. I am your ally now on this epic adventure, the heroic journey that you're on, and I will be the one that you can count on all along the way. Hey, let me level with you. The journey of success can be a lonely one. There are not many people who think like you think, who are willing to do what you're willing to do. Look, there are not many people who will see an invitation to register for a broadcast to discuss how to 5x their results. I know, it sounds nuts, but it's true. And then actually show up like you did, and then actually pay attention, not be checking email, leaving the room, or doing whatever with this running in the background, but actually be listening as you are right now. Damn, I hope you know how special that makes you. Know that I know how rare you are. I know most people around you don't understand you, but I do. By the way, this has all been a test of sorts to weed out the weak, to see who stuck with it. All this time in this industry, I've learned that there are a lot of talkers, wannabes, they're lurkers and spectators, but very few doers. I only want to work with doers, those that stay, finish, and then when given an opportunity, take action. So, for my action-taking friends, one more thing that I want to add, and this will make it a no-brainer for you. It will cost you money not to join us today. This will be a huge gift for you. You see, my ultimate mission here is to make an impact. And I have realized the best way to do that is to positively influence influencers, those who deem themselves leaders. Candidly, we're all leaders, but only the few understand their responsibility, understand and take seriously the role that they play in the lives of other people, knowing that their very existence is an example that either influences positively or negatively everybody around them. We are all leading by example, whether we know it or not. So, if you're responsible for other people at all, if you lead a team at work, a family at home, a group at church, a sports team, or even a peer group or friend circle, then you are a leader. And as a leader, you have their future and their greater potential on the line here. There's a lot at stake here, so listen up. You see, the Insane Productivity program is about helping you become the best in the world at what you do. And that's great. Now, to reach your big goals, accomplish your major mission in life, you're gonna have to learn how to lead others in accomplishing their goals as well. To learn how to draw the best out of people, help them do more and become better than maybe they even thought possible for themselves or could have without your help, without your encouragement, without your leadership. Would you like to know how to get people around you passionately engaged, intensely committed, consistently motivated, and fully aligned with your mission, goals, and purpose? And not just your teammates at the office, but also your kids at home. How valuable would that be to you? The Ludicrous Leadership Program is 6 additional magnificent modules dispensing the best I've ever collected on how to drive a high-performance team. These are the tools and systems that I use to lead my own team. I bring you behind the curtain and show you exactly how I drive high performance and insane results leading others. And I'm going to give you this entire program as a gift. You heard it, as a gift. The Ludicrous Leadership Program is $995. That's what everybody else paid for it. But if you become a full member of Insane Productivity on this broadcast, this is strictly restricted to those who demonstrate the ability to act decisively. I'm going to add in the Ludicrous Leadership Program as a gift for free. Yes, free. A big bonus for being on this broadcast with me now. So let me show you all that we have, okay? The entire award-winning Insane Productivity training curriculum with lifetime access, 25 years compressed into 12 high-octane training modules. The complete toolkit to set you up, support, and guide you during any job that you have to do to achieve any goal that you want. Then I'm gifting All those who become a full Insane Productivity member on this broadcast, the $1,000 audio program titled The Habits of High Performers. Your habits become your life. This will be a life changer. On top of that, for those joining today, I'm adding in the Belief System of Success training video recording. And then, of course, the big whammy bonus, although everybody else paid $1,000 for this, the all-new leadership course on how to lead an insanely productive team called Ludicrous. For those joining today, on this broadcast only, you will get the Ludicrous Leadership Program for free. My gift, the complete 6-module training program in its entirety. So let's add it up now. What is all this worth? Think about this. If all this program did was help you 5x your income, heck, what about 3x? Now, let's cut it down even further. What is 2x what you're earning now? You have that number? Take your last income stub, now double it. How would that change things? I bet it would solve a lot of problems for you right now, wouldn't it? But let's not even have to go there. What if it was just 50% better than you're doing now? Hey, let's make this super simple. What if it just helped you earn an extra $10,000 a year? So over the next 10 years, this hour that we spent here together today would be worth $100,000. Would that be worth it to you? Now, obviously, I'm not going to charge you $10,000. But if I did charge you $10,000 and all it did was help you earn $10,000 more each year for the next 10 years, that would be worth it to you, right? You bet it would. That would be a 10x return. You've already seen how it is worth $10,000 many times over, and even at $4,975 total, which is what I charge the public, it's a smoking deal. It's the best investment you possibly can make into your ability to create self-mastery. Certainly less than you paid for your college education. But because you're with me today and still with me now, I'm going to do something very special for you. Oh, you still need to make an investment in yourself. I know after 2.5 decades in the human development business, people only pay attention to what they pay for. The only way to gain leverage over yourself, the only way to get yourself to pay attention is with your investment. Without it, it all fades into the noise of the trivial and the latest YouTube video. A big part of the human growth journey is you declaring to yourself that you are worth it, that you are worth investing in, that your better future is worth investing in. Oh, you think it's worth to buy a big flat TV screen. You think fancy shoes that kill your feet are worth it. You think a trip to Disneyland is worth it, but few people think that they are worth it. Isn't that nuts? You got to get over that. Declare to yourself, not to me, not to your creator, to yourself that you are worth it. That is the very first step towards transformation. This is your test. Everything happens for a reason. You are here with me right now for a reason. There is no coincidence here. You have asked for this. You have prayed about this. You have dreamt about this. It is here. So instead of $4,975 to collect all that we've talked about, just make 4 installments of $495. And all of this is yours for lifetime access. No annual fees, no recurring monthly subscription. You'll never pay another cent to have complete 24/7, 365 lifetime ownership over it. $495 for 4 months. I hope you see how insanely great that is. Typically, a 60 to 90 minute keynote with me is $55,000. A single day training workshop with you and your team is $75,000. When I mentor CEOs one-on-one, 30 minutes a month is $100,000 annually. But you're going to get me guiding you step by step over dozens of hours, probably hundreds, as you trek back through several times on what will become the most insane adventure in the search for the best within you. So here we are. What are you going to do? This will be interesting to watch. You are faced with 2 choices. 1, act, and life as you know it now will never be the same. 6, 12, 18 months from now, you can become completely unrecognizable to the person who is watching me now. You can become completely unrecognizable to your kids, to your spouse, to your friends, to your college alumni, to your followers on Facebook, and maybe most importantly, to your banker, as has already happened for the 20,000 plus achievers who have taken the insane adventure before you. 2, don't act, and you go back to how life is for you now. If you leave without acting, nothing in your life will change. Even after all that I've shared with you here today, tomorrow you will slip back into your existing habit patterns. You'll do what you've always done, and you'll have what you've always had. Here it is this way. If you do not step forward, you'll be in the same place. There's a fortune cookie that I read that said, many a false step was made by standing still. Standing still and remaining where you are is not what you want, is it? I know that you want better than you have now. You and I both know that it's possible. If you want more than you have now, you have to interrupt your current pattern. This is Newton's first law. An object in motion stays in motion with the same speed in the same direction unless acted upon by an outside force. This is that outside force for you. Now, if you're thinking, wow, Darren is really trying to sell me here, you're darn right I am. If you had a deadly illness and I had the pill that would cure you and save your life, save the father or mother of your kids, your employees, your teammates, your customers, you bet I'm going to try to muster every bit of energy that I've got to convince you to buy the dang pill. It will matter to you more than it will matter to me. Remember now, I've already done all this. I've taken the journey. I'm now coming back to help you, to be your guide. As your guide, I am not going to let you go back to your old habits. I will hold you accountable this time. So, is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to give it a try? Even if it does half, a fourth of what we've discussed today, it will pay for itself as soon as you make a few additional sales that you wouldn't have, gain a few clients that you wouldn't have, increase your value and get that raise that you wouldn't have, or help your kids or colleagues or friends in a way that you couldn't have before. At least give yourself a shot at that. The way I've broken down decision making for myself is like this. If you make a good decision, great, life is better for it. If you make a bad decision, you can fix it. But the greatest mistake you can make is not making a decision at all. Jim Rohn, my mentor, taught me this. It is indecision that is the thief of opportunity. Okay, as we wrap up, again, here's what I'm placing before your feet. Take it or don't. The entire Insane Productivity 12-module curriculum, 25 years of achievement strategies, insights, and success systems compressed into an award-winning personal development and success training system. The complete companion toolkit, the full audio program on the habits of high performers, the belief system of success video recording, and the full 6-module ludicrous leadership upgrade. Now, I want to prompt you to act and to act quickly and to reward the fast action takers. I'm often asked how to build a large social media presence and still stay focused and productive. It's a great question because there are two sides of the social media sword. One side is social media is a wonderful vehicle to connect to an audience and share communication, content, and communion. For brands and businesses and marketers and entrepreneurs, it's been one of the greatest tools ever created. That's the side of the sword that you know and everybody's constantly promoting. The other side of that is it is the most productive, crushing influence in your life. It triggers the very worst of our nature and quickly becomes addictive, obsessive, and are weapons of mass distraction. So the question I'm asked is, how did I scale the social media platforms when I was a success to millions of people, and again on my own personal profile to reach millions of people a day? And get this, I spend less than 15 minutes a week on it. Yes, you heard that right. Less than 15 minutes a week, if that. So for the first 50 people that enroll on this broadcast, I'm going to include a special bonus module where I walk you through exactly how to scale your social media platforms to millions of people and do it productively, meaning not costing you focus on what is your more vital functions. There's a method to this process. It took me a long time to figure out, to tweak, and to perfect, but now it's foolproof. I'll give you that formula and show you exactly how to do it. So, if the idea of influencing millions of people every day on social media is interesting to you, then you better get a jump on it. Click the enroll button now.
Hey, producer Mariana here. For those listening who are ready to start living an insanely productive life, click the link in the show notes or go to insaneproductivity.com. Got that? One more time, the URL is insaneproductivity.com.
Okay, let's see what you do. Are you a dabbler or a doer? Are you a lurker or a leader? Are you the overmotivated underachiever? Or do you really want to be the insanely successful superachiever and are willing to take action in order to make it so? We will see. I know who registered and I know who showed up to this broadcast, and now I'll know who stepped up and who didn't. I implore you to act. This time, do it. Now, it's up to you. The only thing that I've resolved in life is this. I no longer want to help people who need help. I've tried that. It's exhausting, frustrating, and heartbreaking. I don't look for people to help anymore. I only work with those who look for me. I only want to help people who want to be helped and are willing to step up and declare themselves then I'm all in. You will never have a better ally than me to fight with you for your better future, to help you realize your better potential. Show me that you care about your success, and I will care too, greatly. I will be your guide if you choose to step up and be the exception. Okay, we're going to start a countdown timer here for 15 minutes. Okay, I promised that I'd hang out here and answer a few questions for those who still need some more information to ask. I just warn you before we begin that this is dangerous, as I'm sure the social media bonus will be gone by then, but still, I want to address anything that might be lingering in your head right now. Okay, Britt, is the timer up? Okay. To get all the gifts and bonuses that I have piled on, exclusive to this broadcast, you'll need to enroll before this timer goes out, okay? Are we clear here now? Okay, I don't want anybody getting mad at me or having their feelings hurt if they want in later, but the enrollment is closed or the added gifts are no longer included. So I just want to be clear about this. This is for this broadcast only, which means right now until the clock ends, which now is less than 15 minutes. Okay, so let's move into the Q&A session. So if you have a question, you can ask it in the chat box that you see on the screen. That will get to Britt, and then she can feed those questions to me here on the screen in front of me. So while Britt is collecting up your questions and you're sending them in, I'll just get started by answering a common question that I hear. And it goes something like this. I've taken time management courses in the past. How is this different? Okay. So first of all, this isn't a time management course. That's 20th century stuff. And you can't manage time anyway. Time's going on without you. The earth is spinning around the sun right now at 16,000 miles an hour. You can't do anything about it. All you can manage is yourself on this spinning orb and in the turbulence of the ever-changing and advancing environment. This is about learning self-management, to manage and leverage yourself inside the time that we're all given. And this isn't about time efficiency or productivity. This is a complete personal development success training system. Everything anyone ever needed to know to improve their success in any area of their life is in here, because life is all about self-management, self-mastery. That is what this training system is designed for, self-mastery, for the achiever who desires to be great. And what you will find here that you will not find anywhere else is it will give you the systems to remove the part of the self-management and self-mastery that perpetually fails you. And that is the self part. The self is what has been screwing you up. Drift, inconsistency, distraction, temptation, etc. All those pitfalls will be eliminated. You will finally have the systems necessary to render self-control, discipline, and the need for willpower unnecessary. This is the only system in the world that will help you do that. Okay, Britt, what you got?
Okay, so this person writes, I already go to seminars in my industry and I have a personal coach.
All right, good for you, but that's not good enough. If you're going to events in your industry, you are just learning what everybody else is learning and repeating what everybody else is already doing. To get the breakthrough that you need the ideas, insights, tools, and strategies that aren't typical and common in your industry. That's how you get the edge, the advantage, and become the game changer in your office, in your industry, and in your community. And regarding coaches and other personal development you might have or are doing or have done in the past, it is nothing like what you will experience inside of Insane Productivity. You have 25 years of the best, drawn from the best, compressed into one action system. System being the key word there. The system is what will render willpower, discipline, and self-control needless and obsolete. So this investment will end all investments if you choose. It's up to you. If you're ready, you can go ahead and hit the enroll button before the countdown ends. Okay, hit me again, Britt.
Sure. So Deborah wrote, I have a particularly hectic month. I don't know if I have the time to take this course right now. So it sounds like not having enough time is the question, Darren.
Okay, well, again, hopefully you see the irony in your situation, Deborah, being too busy to learn how to not be so busy. It's like the guy who said he's too busy mopping up the flooded floors to turn off the faucet. And it's true, most people don't have enough time. They don't have enough time to get in shape. They don't have enough time to be a better husband or wife. They don't have enough time to be a better parent. They don't have the time to be a better friend. They don't have the time to pursue their entrepreneurial ideas. They don't have the time to achieve the real dreams that they have buried in their heart because they no longer have time for them. This is the very point of me trying to get you these tools and systems. The real question is how much longer do you want to continue not having time? The great news here is, once all the 12 modules are delivered into your Darren Hardy training vault, they do not expire. They will always be there. In fact, for life. You get lifetime access to the entire program. This means you can learn at your pace, on your schedule. If you can't start it for a month, no problem. The modules will just fill up in your vault and they will be waiting there for you when you're ready. If you want to go back through the program over and over, which many of our alumni do, and I highly suggest it, all the tools, resources will be there for you anytime, always. Oh, and you don't have to pay an annual fee or continued access or any type of subscription. Once all the installments are made, it is yours for life. Okay, next one, Britt, please.
Okay, so they didn't say what their name was, but they wrote, I don't have the money right now to make this kind of investment.
Well, let me just say that I know how you feel. Whoever wrote that, it's exactly what I felt when I was invited to my very first seminar. It was serendipitous, in fact, about how it all happened, although I didn't know it at the time. I was living down in Southern California. I was going to college. I'm from the Bay Area of San Francisco, so I was a long way from home, and I was down there all by myself. I was in the lobby of a restaurant. I was waiting for a table, and I got to talking to this man who was sitting next to me. Based on how he was dressed, his stature, and how he carried himself, it was obvious that this man was very successful. He was the image that I aspired to be one day. I kept asking him all sorts of questions about what he did and how he did it and so forth. Then he was called for his reservation, but before he left, he wrote down the name of a seminar that he highly suggested that I go to on the back of his business card. When I looked it up, and I did right away, I was shocked at how much it cost. About 3 times my total monthly income at that point. Much more than the entire Insane Productivity System, in fact, and this was a while ago. I just figured the seminar must be too advanced for me at the time, or not relevant to what I was doing. But it ate at me for 2 days and nights. I had big ambitions. I had silently prayed for help. And here this guy shows up and he hands me the answer. But I have to make the decision to step up or not, to have courage or not, to believe in myself and my big goals or not. I still had one big problem. I didn't have the sizable sum of money this seminar costs. So I did the thing I never wanted to do. I borrowed it from the only guy I knew who would have it, my very grumpy World War II fighter pilot grandfather, who never really said more than 2 grunts at me at any one time. But I mustered up the courage to ask, and very reluctantly, I add, he lent it to me. And I went to the seminar. Thank God I did. That seminar changed my life. Everything changed for me right then. I mean, everything. I was raised in a pretty dysfunctional situation by a pretty pessimistic father and stepmonster. This seminar showed me an entirely different way to live, to believe, and to achieve. In short, I can tell you this. When presented with that choice, to go or to not go, if I had simply put the card in my pocket and never pulled it out again, if I had chosen not to take the risk to step up, even though I was a bit scared and nervous to do so, if I had not made the decision to go, I would not be talking with you right now. I would not have the life that I have today. My entire life changed because of that one decision. I tell you this because you're in a very similar situation right now. You are confronted with a choice to step up and decide to go or not, to act or just put aside this decision and eventually let procrastination take it away from you. Soon you won't have a choice at all because it will be closed and you will have missed it. I hope you make the right choice. Okay. What else do you have, Britt? By the way, if you are ready, you can enroll at any time. You don't want to let procrastination take away this opportunity from you. And also the added fast action bonuses. You're going to get the program anyway. You might as well get all the added bonuses for free. Okay. Sorry, Britt, go ahead.
Okay, so here's another one. What if I live in another country? Can I be a part of this program, or is it restricted to America?
The answer is yes, you can. The beautiful thing about this program is you don't have to pack a bag, hitch a plane, or sit in a ballroom somewhere to receive it. As a digitally delivered program, you can access it 24/7, 365 from any internet-connected device from anywhere on planet Earth. And if you are a human being, this program is designed for you. No giraffes, no alligators, or iguanas allowed. Human beings, yes, everybody qualifies. No matter your profession, industry, or corner of the globe that you might reside, this course will help you as It deals with the you and the mastery of the self and the systems that support it. Now, of course, the program is only in English and the installments are only completed in United States dollar denominations, but your credit card company will make all those conversions. And hey, imagine the awesome advantage you'll have over everyone in your country if you get access to this program. Talk about an insane unfair advantage. Okay, Britt, just a couple of more. We're running out of time. Oh, and if you're ready, just hit the enroll button anytime you want.
Okay, here's another, Darren. Can I share this program with my team, my spouse, or my family?
Okay, here's how it works. Each person needs their own individual membership. It is one membership per person, not per couple, not per team, not per office, not per family, per individual human being. It's just like an American Airlines, right? It's one seat per butt. Every butt needs its own seat. Every butt here needs their own insane membership. Use your integrity on this. You might be inclined to just share your membership login information with other people. Don't do that. Our system recognizes logins from different devices anyway, and it will terminate your membership. But besides the policing of it, there's a bigger reason to keep integrity on this. And this is a really big human behavior and performance tip here. Paying for it is a big part of getting an outcome for the participant. Here's one for your notes if you're still taking notes. People only pay attention to what they pay for. It's another odd and fascinating reality of our human condition, but it is a reality. You only get out of something what you put into it. To not invest in the training, it doesn't rob me as much as it robs them. And I'm not just talking about the karmic repercussions of stealing. I'm talking about robbing them of that critical character growth, to have made an investment in their self, in their greater future, and in their greater potential. So make sure every participant is equally invested so they are equally invested in creating results from the program. I hope you have realized by now that this program is not for the wishy-washy, mamby-pamby crowd. This is a serious success training system intended solely for serious achievers who seriously want to gain insane results, insanely fast, sanely. So before I take on the next question, I just want to reiterate, when we close this broadcast, you lose direction to the registration page. So be sure to go now before we end. We only have a few moments before ending now. You can hit the enroll button anytime. Okay, last one, Britt.
Okay, how about this one? I see this a lot. This comes from Robert. He says, "Hey Darren, I've read The Compound Effect and the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster and join you for Darren Daily most mornings. How much of this training is different?"
Yes, Robert, I will ignore the most mornings part of your question. This is entirely different, and it is for the difference for why the course was produced. Remember, it's not about the information at all. It's about the behavior modification. Information without a change of behavior is worthless. Just look at the world around us. Change requires you to change your behavior, held consistent so it becomes permanent. And we've already discussed willpower and discipline, how it will fail over time, every time. You can't white knuckle your way to change. You can try, but eventually that fails, which is why right now you don't have the results that you want, even though you've known what to do. This training system will finally change that for you. It delivers more than information. It helps you build the systems you need over time, module by module, to change your behavior easily and seamlessly, which then will change your results and transform your life. It will finally help you realize the potential that you've always had in you, but has been sabotaged by distraction, outside interferences, temptation, and a constant bombardment of other people's solicitations tugging on you all the time. You will have the system to prevent that and help keep you on track and guide it all along the way. This is why we see so many people who read all the books, they've been to all the seminars, they read all the blogs, they listen to all the podcasts, they show up to broadcasts like this, and they're still frustrated with their results. Change needs to happen inside out, not outside in. Internal behavior versus external information. Now, when you start to really tap your potential and break through is when the right insights and information can be activated and sustained through the right behavior. Now, 5x results and outcomes are made possible. You got it, Robert? Okay. I've covered it. Whatever time is left on the clock is all you have. If you have other questions, just head over to the enrollment page, and I have members of our A team standing by to help you out. When you get to the enrollment page, they are there via live chat, or you can leave them a message if they're already contained with other people to contact you. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you found incredible value in having me pass on the 3 insider secrets of the super successful to you, and then giving you access to the systems that can make it happen for you in your life. I know undoubtedly it can create the same kind of results for you as it did for me. I can't wait to hear about the stories of 5Xing your life and the lifestyle of your family.
Hey, producer Mariana here. One last time. For those of you listening who are ready to start living an insanely productive life, click the link in the show notes or go to insaneproductivity.com.